I'm Justin. I'm going to talk about planted tanks for a minute. Right here what we have a lower tech planted tank. These are all low light plants that can be used as high light plants. This tank right here gets a 50% water change a week. We're going to talk about high tech light. So considering that this tank is low tech, you've got this LED system on it which works just fine. Clearly it grows the plants. But what you have is that your lights are the gas pedal for your plants. So the more light you have, the faster your plants will grow. But what you have to realize too at the same note is that too much light can produce a ton of problems with algae. And so me personally, in tanks that I run at my house, what I do is I run either high output LEDs or I'll run high output T5s. But that being said, I run pressurized injected CO2 into the systems because if the light's the gas, essentially the CO2's the fuel. And what that'll do is it makes the plants outcompete the algae, and it will just the explosion in growth you get. But you don't need just those two things. It's a routine or a maintenance routine that you have, as well as it needs to be dosed with fertilizer. So in the field, these are a few of the products that we'll use in some planted tanks. Right here, this is a general hardness or general hardness. It's a remineralizer. If you're using RO water, which is what we do with all of our tanks, you put this back in and it will give you a TDS reading of 100 to 200, which is ideal for plants. Synthesis for plants right here. This is gives you your nitrate and your organic nitrogen, which plants need nitrogen to grow, and essentially the ammonia or the nitrogen cycle, ammonia, nitrites, and then your end result is nitrates, which the plants utilize to grow. Right here what you have is Premier for plants, and this is if you're using a tap water, you'll use this to take out the chlorine or chloramine inside there, as well as this gives you some potassium, which a lot of times you'll see in aquarium plants, you get pinholes in your leaves, and that is majority of the time it's a potassium deficiency. Right, next, what we have here next is Propel for plants, this is good for accelerated plant growth, as well as with the ferric iron inside. It gives you really good reds, oranges. It brings out those colors better. I mean, and it's not just from the nutrients that will give you that color, it's also with your light. If you've got a tank that's got some reds in it, or the lights have some reds in it or some oranges, it's definitely going to accentuate those colors more. Next, we have our Carbonate. This raises your carbonate hardness, and also it does give you some extra potassium in there. Finally, what we have here is Activate for plants. This has some concentrated phosphorus in it. If you are using RO water for your planted tank, you're going to want to use this because your RO system will take out phosphates from your water. If you're using tap water, you're going to be okay unless you're seeing some actual deficiencies in the plants, then you would want to add some. But ideally what you would want to do, because phosphates will give you hair algae, bad, as in saltwater aquariums. So you want to be it's better to underdose it than to overdose it, and then you see how your plants react and how your tank reacts. So if you liked what you saw here today, my name's Justin. I'm the Planted Tank with OSA. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share the video. See you soon.